There's this restless kind of tension swirling around the Dolphins' war room right now. You can feel it, even if you're nowhere near it. The kind of energy that hums when something big is on the brink. Because here we are, days away from the 2025 NFL Draft, and Miami's got needs. Not just that usual vague, they could go this or that direction kind of chatter. Real, pressing gaps, holes in the defense, questions up front, and a general sense that this thing could crack wide open in any number of ways. And the name echoing louder and louder now. Kenneth Grant, Michigan, a mountain that moves like mist. And yeah, you've seen the mock drafts. The safe, polished, almost boring ones that drop Jody Barron or Will Johnson into Miami's lap at 13. Logical picks. Fine picks. But this isn't about logic anymore. This is about instinct. About risk. About watching tape of Kenneth Grant moving like a linebacker trapped in a defensive tackle's body and wondering, how is this even possible? Because Grant doesn't fit the template. He shatters it. And that's the hook. That's what's got people inside the building whispering, maybe louder than they should. They're seeing what happens when size doesn't come at the expense of explosion. When a guy over 330 pounds doesn't just plug gaps, he collapses them. But the tape? It's got patches. Inconsistencies. One full season as a starter. Some plays where you're yelling, where is he? And others where you're yelling, who the hell is that? And that's where the anxiety creeps in. You gamble on a guy like Grant at 13. You're not just drafting a player. You're making a statement. You're saying, we're betting on upside, on freakish athletic traits over polish, on the idea that we can mold this raw force of nature into a dominant NFL presence. And maybe, just maybe, you're also saying, we remember 2019. We remember Christian Wilkins at 13. That feeling, that payoff, that hunger to repeat it. But what if you wait? What if you play cute and trade back, try to scoop up an extra pick, and still grab Grant later? It sounds clever, sensible even. But then what? He's gone. Someone else takes the swing. You're left scrambling. Because Nolan, Harmon, they're names, yeah, but they're also slipping higher and higher. You don't play chicken with a defensive tackle class that thins out this fast. And that's really the crux of it. The Dolphins don't have time to play safe. This isn't a rebuild, not in the full sense. But it's a reset, a recalibration. Pieces moving, contracts fading, foundations shifting. Zach Sealer's doing what he can, but he's one man. The trenches need reinforcements. And not the kind that just eats snaps. The kind that blows up pockets, crashes through doubles, lives in backfields. Grant could be that. Or he could disappear. That's the fear, and that's the thrill. Because you don't take a guy like this without hearing the whisper. Dexter Lawrence. That comp hangs in the air like smoke. Heavy, almost too much to breathe in. But it's there. The thought of it. A best-case scenario so seductive it clouds judgment. Or clarifies it, depending on how bold you're feeling. Now zoom out just a bit. Look at how Miami's front office has been acting. Not panicked, but not relaxed either. Doing their homework. Meeting with D linemen more than usual. Watching the way Grant bends around a blocker like gravity forgot he weighs more than a truck. Watching him chase a screen pass and close like he's half his size. Then watching him vanish for 3 plays. Then wreck a drive. It's all there. The brilliance and the blur. So you sit there at 13. You've got corners on the board. Tackles. Clean prospects. Guys you can plug in and not worry about. But then you see Grant. And you remember that feeling. That possibility. That this could be the guy that doesn't just fill a need. He redefines it. That's a dangerous kind of thought. The kind that gets you fired. Or the kind that gets you remembered. Because this isn't a safe draft for Miami. The needs are too many. The future's too hazy. You can't cover every hole with one pick, no matter how surgical your strategy. So maybe you swing. Maybe you swing hard. You swing for someone who doesn't just patch a leak, but busts open a new path. You wonder how many other teams are thinking the same thing. Wonder if they're watching the same tape. If they're seeing the twitch, the footwork, the chaos potential. You wonder if you can wait. Or if this is one of those moments where hesitation costs everything. Because here's the truth, buried under all the analysis. Big men aren't supposed to move like this. That's the magic. That's what keeps scouts up at night. That's what makes a guy like Kenneth Grant more than just a prospect. He's a question, a challenge, a dare. And Miami? Miami might just be crazy enough to take it.